Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your free daily guide for inner child healing and repairing the relationship with yourself. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading, followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful binaural beats meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you can join us today on this journey of healing, self-expression, and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. As a celebration of recently passing episode 500, I've opened up a free membership tier for our Patreon community. And this is so that you can access additional resources as well as join our weekly Zoom support calls for free. I understand that there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I know that so many people are really struggling. And so my hope with this is to encourage others to take up the serious work of reparenting and to offer a free community where people can do that. I'd also like to thank everyone who's been along for the journey so far. We've passed episode 550 and continuing beyond. And so this is just a reminder to you all that this is a free podcast, but if you'd like to support the project, you can purchase the Reparenting Daily Journal where you can follow us along all year. This 333-page journal gives you extra insight and resources for each week and also provides space for you to keep your notes. Another way to support the podcast is to purchase the Fairy Tales for Reparenting series, volumes 1 through 3. This collection organizes famous and obscure fairy tales from around the world into 3 phases of the hero's journey, from beginning, middle, to end. While you may think that fairy tales are for kids, I'd like to challenge you. These stories contain profound truths and lessons carried down over centuries that we can use in our own reparenting journeys. It's a fun way to reconnect with your inner child. Each volume comprises 10 fairy tales. Each volume also contains an analysis section that helps you dive deeper into the message, as well as journal prompts with space for you to keep your notes. Lastly, you can also support this podcast by taking a paid Patreon subscription, by purchasing some of the books that are available on Amazon, or by donating on Buy Me a Coffee. You can find all this information on the Support Us section on the website. Thank you again for your time. And so now with these announcements out of the way, let's dive into today's practice. Hi guys, today's reading is an article entitled Recognizing Patterns in Behaviors and Relationships, A Path to Healthier Connections. This article is about a sweet institute. I'm going to read half of it today and then the other half tomorrow, just as an FYI. As always, you can check out the link in the show notes if you want to read all of it, and you can't wait until tomorrow. Just as a reminder, we're in January, and the theme for this month is self-awareness and reflection. We're in week 4, and the theme for this week is patterns, recognizing patterns of behavior. It's a very good article, so I do recommend you check it out. And here is the first half, recognizing patterns in behaviors and relationships, a path to healthier connections. Recognizing patterns in behavior is a crucial aspect for understanding and improving relationships. These patterns often form the foundation of how we interact with others, influencing everything from communication style to conflict resolution and emotional intimacy. By identifying and addressing these patterns, individuals can foster healthier, more fulfilling relationships. What are behavior patterns in relationships? Behavioral patterns are recurring actions, reactions, or ways of interacting that develop over time in relationships. These patterns can be positive, such as consistently showing appreciation or support, or negative, such as frequent arguments or emotional withdrawal. Often, these patterns are rooted in past experiences, learned behaviors, and deep-seated beliefs about ourselves and others. For example, a pattern might involve one partner consistently taking on the role of peacemaker during conflicts, while the other tends to withdraw or become defensive. Another pattern could involve one person always being the initiator of plans and intimacy, leading to an imbalance in effort and engagement within a relationship. The impact of unrecognized patterns. When behavior patterns go unrecognized, they can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and a gradual erosion of the relationship. Unaddressed negative patterns can become entrenched, making it difficult for partners to break free from unhealthy dynamics. For instance, if a couple falls into a pattern of avoiding difficult conversations, important issues may go unresolved, leading to a buildup of tension and dissatisfaction. Over time, these unresolved issues can create emotional distance and diminish the connection between partners. Similarly, if one partner consistently dominates decision-making, the other may feel undervalued or unheard, leading to a power imbalance that can strain the relationship. Common behavior patterns in relationship. Understanding some of the most common behavioral patterns can help individuals identify and address them in their own relationships. Here are a few examples. Number one, the pursuer-distancer dynamic. In this pattern, one partner tends to pursue closeness and connection, while the other withdraws or distances themselves. This dynamic can create a cycle where the pursuer's efforts to connect lead to further withdrawal from the distancer, perpetuating a sense of disconnection. Number two, the blame game. This pattern involves partners consistently blaming each other for problems or challenges in the relationship. Instead of working together to find solutions, the focus shifts to assigning fault, which can create defensiveness and also hinder productive communication. Number three, the caretaker-dependent dynamic. In this pattern, one partner takes on the role of the caretaker while the other becomes increasingly dependent. While this may seem like a way to maintain harmony, it can lead to an imbalance where the caretaker feels overwhelmed and the dependent partner loses a sense of agency. Number four, conflict avoidance. Some couples develop a pattern of avoiding conflict at all costs. While this might seem like a way to keep the peace, it often leads to unresolved issues that fester beneath the surface, eventually causing greater harm to the relationship. Number five, tit-for-tat behavior. This pattern involves partners keeping score of each other's actions, whether positive or negative. This transactional approach to relationships can prevent genuine emotional connection and lead to a cycle of retaliation or withholding affection. Recognizing patterns in your relationship. Recognizing patterns in behavior requires self-awareness and a willingness to reflect on your own interactions with your partner. Here are some steps you can take to identify patterns in your relationship. Number one, reflect on past experiences. Think about recurring themes in your relationship. Are there certain situations or triggers that consistently lead to the same outcomes? Do you notice any cycles of behavior that repeat over time? Number two, pay attention to your reactions. Observe your emotional and behavioral responses during interactions with your partner. Do you find yourself reacting in similar ways to certain situations? Are there patterns in how you express or withhold emotions? Number three, consider your partner's behavior. Look for patterns in your partner's actions and responses as well. Are there specific behaviors that occur repeatedly in response to certain triggers or situations? Number four, communicate with your partner. Open up a dialogue with your partner about the patterns you've noticed. Discuss how these patterns impact your relationship and explore ways to address them together. Number five, seek feedback from others. Sometimes it can be helpful to seek the perspective of a trusted friend or therapist who can provide objective insight into the patterns inside your relationship. Thank you, and that's the reading for today. Welcome back. Today's reading zooms in on where behavior patterns really show their teeth, and that's in relationships. I think that we all understand that. It makes it clear that most relationship struggles aren't about one-off arguments or personality flaws. They're about repeating dynamics. These patterns quietly shape how closeness, conflict, power, and care flow between people. Left unexamined, they harden into scripts that run the relationship on autopilot, often long after they've stopped serving either person, to be honest. A key insight here is that patterns are relational dances, not solo acts. The pursuer needs the distancer, the caretaker requires the dependent, the conflict avoider relies on silence staying intact. These roles often originate in earlier life experiences where they once provided safety or belonging. The problem isn't that these patterns exist, it's that they go unnamed. Think about the don't talk, don't trust, don't feel rule. When they remain unconscious, they begin to breed resentment, imbalance, and emotional distance, withdrawal, or aggression. This reading also emphasizes that awareness is the lever for change, not blame, not fixing your partner. Awareness begins with noticing your own reactions, how you pursue, withdraw, please, dominate, avoid, or keep score. Guilty of that one. From there, honesty and honest communication becomes possible. And patterns can begin to shift from their rigid loops into more flexible choices. Healthy relationships don't come from perfection, they come from mutual curiosity, as well as responsibility and respect. As we go to the journal prompts for today, number 1, what recurring role do you tend to fall into in your closest relationships? The pursuer, the caretaker, avoider, peacemaker, or something else? Number 2, what pattern in your relationship feels familiar but no longer feels healthy? And number 3, if you named one dynamic you're willing to interrupt this week, what would it be? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please find a place where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Just take some time to listen to yourself. Next, be sure that you are taking some time to be with your breath to connect with your body. Don't be disturbed or overwhelmed by your thoughts. Simply allow them to pass. Just observe them. Do not engage with your thoughts. Only be mindful of them passing as if they are drifting down a river. Use this time to connect with yourself. Whatever time of day you are listening to this, Namaste.